Spain versus Italy, two of the most sought-after lifestyles in Europe. And right now, with a budget under $100,000, both are still on the table. In this video, we're comparing which country actually gives you more for your money. I've pulled 8 real listings, 4 from Spain, 4 from Italy, with prices accurate at the time of this roundup, and we're running them head-to-head. Some are move-in ready, others need work. And as we go, you'll see how the value shifts depending on what you prioritize. We're not just comparing square footage. We're looking at what life actually feels like at this price point, the setting, the access, and the kind of everyday lifestyle each place offers. By the time we reach the last two, the answer isn't as obvious as you might expect. Quick context before we start. The Spain properties are in Andalusia and the Costa Blanca, warmer, coastal, more relaxed. The Italy properties are in Umbria, Tuscany, March, and Lombardy, more rural, more traditional, and very different in character. Same budget, two completely different lifestyles. Let's compare. We open in Andalusia, the southernmost region of mainland Spain, where Moorish architecture meets whitewashed village streets, where the summers are long and golden, and where the Costa del Sol has been one of Europe's most established destinations for international buyers for decades. Malaga province sits at the heart of it, a coastline of busy resort towns giving way to quiet inland villages in the hills, olive groves on the slopes, and a way of life that moves at exactly the pace you'd want it to. The infrastructure here is among the best in southern Europe for foreign buyers. International airport, motorway connections, English-speaking services, and the cultural richness of Andalusia runs deeper than the tourist strip suggests. Spain opens $94,000, 79,950 euros, a cozy townhouse in Almachar in the province of Malaga. And this is a proper village house near the edge of a proper Spanish village, close to all amenities, with on-street parking a few minutes walk away. The exterior is whitewashed Andalusian village architecture, the kind of facade that makes people stop mid-scroll. Inside, the main entrance leads directly into a spacious, open-plan living, dining, and kitchen area. The kitchen has been newly fitted with an electric hob, oven, and microwave. High ceilings and modern light-colored ceramic floor tiles make the whole space feel bright and airy. And those high ceilings in a Spanish village house are not a small detail. They change how a room feels entirely. According to the listing, this has been recently renovated to a high standard, and it's described as a perfect lock-up and leave holiday home or rental property. No major renovations. Move-in ready as described. And the best part is, Malaga province means you're within reach of the Costa del Sol, one of Europe's most established expat and tourism corridors. Meaning this property works as a personal base and as a rental without needing to convince anyone that the location is desirable. Spain opens strong, but Italy answers immediately, and the answer involves a garden, 2 floors, 120 square meters, and a price that's almost identical. Italy steps in at $94,100, 80,000 euros, and we're in Umbria now, the green heart of Italy, a landlocked region of medieval hill towns, olive groves, and Renaissance art that most international visitors fly over on their way to Rome or Florence, without realizing what they're missing. Umbria moves slowly in the best possible way. The towns of Perugia, Orvieto, and Assisi define the cultural register. Lake Trasimeno provides a coastal feeling without the coast. And the landscape, rolling hills, cypress-lined roads, stone farmhouses, is exactly what people mean when they say they want to live in Italy. Property prices here still reflect the reality of a region that hasn't been fully discovered, which means the gap between what you get and what you pay is wider than almost anywhere else in the country. The listing here is a beautiful stone house in Macchie, and right away the visual language changes completely. Stone walls, Umbrian countryside, 4 kilometers from the medieval town of Panical, and 9 from Castiglione del Lago on Lake Trasimeno. The property spreads across 2 floors for a total surface area of 120 square meters, about 1,292 square feet. The ground floor has a large space of approximately 72 square meters, roughly 775 square feet, with a bathroom, which the listing describes as a commercial space with the possibility of creating a further independent home, meaning there's genuine flexibility built into this floor that Spain's entry simply doesn't have. The first floor, accessed via an external staircase, is the residential apartment, living room with kitchenette, hallway, 2 bedrooms, bathroom, closet, and a terrace. 2 bedrooms, a terrace, 120 square meters, a garden, and a stone house in Umbria for essentially the same price as the Spanish village house. And the best part is, the ground floor creates a real opportunity. Whether you want to expand your own living space or eventually create a rental unit, that flexibility exists in the bones of the building. Italy draws level. But the listing is lighter on renovation detail for the ground floor. So check what commercial space means in planning terms and verify what work is needed before committing. The score is tied. Now Spain goes bigger. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, air conditioning, built in 2008, and a coastal postcode. Quick Spain note. The Costa Blanca and the Murcia region around it have some of the most consistent sunshine hours in Europe. Over 300 days a year in parts of Alicante province. The infrastructure for international buyers is well established. Flights from Northern Europe are frequent and cheap. And the expat community is large enough that you'll find English-speaking services, international schools, and a functioning rental market. That's a practical package that matters when you're buying remotely. Spain again, $95,700, 81,400 euros. And we're moving up the coast now to Baix Segura, the southernmost comarca of the Valencian community, where the Segura River meets the Mediterranean, and the landscape opens into salt flats, citrus groves, and one of the sunniest coastlines in all of Europe. Los Montesinos is a small residential town in this corner of Alicante province. Genuinely quiet, genuinely local, with the beaches of Torrevieja and Guardamar within easy reach, and the overdevelopment of the most famous Costa Blanca resorts comfortably in the rearview mirror. It's the kind of place where international buyers settle properly rather than just visit because the infrastructure works and the pace is manageable year-round. This is where Spain starts pulling ahead on the pure specification argument. A bright, semi-detached villa on 3 floors, built in 2008, so relatively modern construction with the structural reliability that implies, in a quiet residential area, 3 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, a spacious, very bright living dining room, an equipped kitchen, air conditioning installed, built-in wardrobes throughout. According to the listing, this is a functional and comfortable layout, and that description undersells it. 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms under $96,000 with AC in a 2008 built property near the Costa Blanca. No major renovations. A place you can actually move into immediately. And the best part is, Los Montesinos is inland from the coast, but close enough to the beaches of Torrevieja and Guardamar to use them regularly, while keeping the price well below what coastal front properties command in this region. Spain is ahead on bedrooms and bathrooms, but Italy is about to respond with the scale argument, and when I say scale, I mean 197 square meters of Tuscan stone house for under $100,000. Don't change the channel. Italy comes back swinging. $99,900, 85,000 euros? And we're in Tuscany now, or more precisely, on its northeastern edge in the upper Tiber Valley, where the landscape gets wilder and the villages get quieter, and the property prices still haven't caught the Chianti effect. Pieve Santo Stefano sits in the Apennine foothills near the border with Umbria and Emilia-Romagna, stone hamlets, chestnut forests, a pace of life that feels genuinely removed from the tourist circuit, even while remaining within reach of Arezzo and the broader Tuscan infrastructure. This is Old Tuscany, rather than postcard Tuscany, and for buyers who understand the difference, that distinction makes the land work harder and the money go further. Here we find a classic Tuscan stone house in Montaloni, within the municipality of Pieve Santo Stefano, and this is where the comparison gets complicated in an interesting way. The property offers 197 square meters, 2,120 square feet, of interior space across 3 floors, basement, 6 rooms currently used as cellars with repurposing potential, ground floor, living room, dining area with kitchen, 2 bedrooms and a bathroom, top floor, 4 additional bedrooms and another bathroom, 6 bedrooms total across the main house, and a short walk away a separate garage building of 93 square meters, 1,001 square feet, across 3 floors, suitable for cars or workshop use. Now, and this is the honest part, the listing states directly that the property requires updates to make it comfortable for modern living. The structure is described as solid, but this is not a move-in ready property as described. It's a restoration project, and the listing says so clearly. For the right buyer, someone who wants Tuscan scale and is budgeting for renovation, the bones here are extraordinary. But if you're looking for a turnkey situation, this is not it. Keep that distinction clear, and the best part is 197 square meters of Tuscan stone in Pieve Santo Stefano for $99,900 is a scale argument that Spain at this price level simply cannot match. The twist is that you're buying potential rather than a finished home. The score is more nuanced than it looks. Spain responds next with a newly renovated mountain townhouse that costs the same as a coffee and a croissant more, and it's ready to walk into today. Spain, $102,300, 87,000 euros. And we're back in Malaga province, but inland this time, in the Axarquia, a natural region of dramatic mountain villages in the foothills of the Sierra Almijara, where the Moorish architectural legacy is still visible in the narrow alleyways, the whitewashed walls, and the terraced hillsides planted with subtropical fruits. Sedela is one of those villages, small, authentic, genuinely lived in, with a village square that actually functions as a village square rather than a performance of one. The coast is close enough for a day trip, but far enough that the pace up here is entirely its own. This is where the charming white house in Sedela lands, a newly renovated townhouse with all amenities close by, set centrally near the main plaza. Newly renovated, according to the listing. Fresh, clean, modern interior, newly installed double-glazed wood windows, 2 bedrooms, a shower room, an unfitted kitchen, and 2 reception and living areas. One of the 2 street entrances is gated with a small patio, and the listing notes scope to create a roof terrace, which in an Andalusian mountain village means a view that most urban properties would charge 3 times the price for. No major renovations. According to the listing, this is a property you can actually move into and start using as a home or a holiday base immediately. And the best part is, Sedela in the Axarquia is close enough to the coast to drive to the sea in under an hour, high enough to escape the summer heat, and authentic enough that it hasn't been turned into a tourist zone. For buyers who want the real Spain rather than the resort version, this is the one. Italy now counters with something completely different. Altitude, wooden beams, a garden on 2 sides, and a garage included. And it's at the same price. Quick Italy note. Umbria, Marche, and the less traveled parts of Tuscany are the Italy that Italians themselves still live in. Smaller towns, slower pace, real food culture, and property prices that haven't caught up with the international attention yet. The infrastructure is solid. Regional airports, train connections, and a legal framework for foreign buyers that is well established. The key is understanding what a property's category means for what you can do with it. Always verify with a local geometra and notary. Italy. $102,300, 87,000 euros. And now we're in Lombardy, northern Italy, a region most international buyers associate with Milan and the fashion industry rather than affordable mountain property. But the truth is that Lombardy's pre-Alpine zone is one of the best kept secrets in Italian real estate. Pisonia sits on the eastern shore of Lake Iseo, the least known of Lombardy's major lakes, in a valley that climbs quickly from the water's edge into proper mountain terrain above 900 meters. Brescia is about an hour away, Bergamo a little more, and Milan reachable by train. But up here, the reference point is the mountain, the forest, and the silence rather than the city. This is Italian alpine life at its most genuine, and the property here earns its place on the list through a combination that's genuinely unusual: recent construction, exposed wooden beams throughout, a garden on two sides, independent methane heating, and a large garage included in the price. The listing describes the property as beautiful and recent, the altitude as ensuring it's never too hot in summer, so no air conditioning needed, and the surroundings as offering an infinite number of trekking routes. According to the listing, this is a quiet property with good sun exposure, solid build quality, and the kind of mountain setting that people pay a premium for in Switzerland, just across the border. The garden on two sides is a real asset at this price, and a garage with independent heating in a mountain property is the kind of practical infrastructure that makes the difference between a seasonal retreat and a year-round home. And the best part is, Pizzoni on Lake Iseo means you're in lake country within reach of Brescia and Bergamo, with Milan not impossibly far, a very different Italy from the Tuscany and Umbria entries above it, and a very compelling one. Spain and Italy are still trading blows, and both have made strong cases, but the last two properties are the ones that decide it. And the next Italian entry on this list is the one that makes you do the maths twice. Italy, $104,600, 89,000 euros. The spacious and bright villa in Apecchio, in the Marche region, locality Roncoso. Marche is the Adriatic-facing region that stretches between the Apennines and the sea on Italy's eastern side, a place of dramatic hilltop towns, long sandy beaches, and a landscape that rivals Tuscany without carrying Tuscany's price tag. Apecchio itself sits in the upper Mataro Valley in the inland Pesaro Urbino province, surrounded by chestnut forests and quiet medieval villages, the kind of territory where the air is clean and the roads are empty, and the price per square meter makes buyers from central Tuscany feel slightly emotional. It's been quietly attracting buyers priced out of the more famous Italian regions for years, and the trajectory is pointing in one direction. Here we find a two-story residential villa with a total area of 250 square meters, about 2,691 square feet, currently divided into two separate units, set on an exclusive garden with an approved renovation project already in place. 250 square meters in the Marsh for $104,600. The listing is clear that renovation is required, and the approved project is a meaningful detail. The planning work has already been done, which removes one of the most time-consuming parts of the renovation process. But this is not move-in ready as described. It's a project, and you need to go in with that budget allocated. For the buyer who wants maximum Italian square footage in a region with extraordinary landscapes and real affordability, this is the argument closer. The garden is exclusive. The scale is extraordinary. The price per square meter is almost uncomfortable to say out loud. And the best part is, Marsh's trajectory means the window for pricing like this is not open indefinitely. Spain's final entry closes the list at just $1,200 more, and it makes a completely different case. A medieval stone village, a fireplace, a three-sided, freestanding townhouse with amenities on the doorstep, and a price under $106,000 in Italy again, $105,800, net 90,000 euros. The traditional townhouse in Bagnone, in the Lunigiana area of Tuscany. Lunigiana is Tuscany's northernmost corner, a narrow valley running between the Apennines and the Apuan Alps, where the marble mountains of Carrara are visible on the horizon, and the medieval castle towns look like they were designed to be seen from a distance. It's one of the least visited parts of Tuscany, which means the village life is genuinely intact. Bakeries that open for the village rather than the tourists. Bars, where the same faces sit at the same tables, a pace that the more famous Tuscan destinations lost a generation ago. Bagnone itself is a beautifully preserved medieval village with a castle, stone alleyways, and a full complement of everyday services. The property is free on three sides, meaning it has light on three aspects, which is genuinely unusual for a medieval village townhouse. Spread across 3 levels, with an entrance hall and a kitchenette, with a fireplace described in the listing. The listing is lighter on full interior detail than others on this list, so curator phrasing applies. Check the full condition documentation, verify what each level contains and what state it's in, and ask the right questions before you commit. But a stone townhouse in a Tuscan medieval village that is free on 3 sides, with a fireplace, at $105,800 in a location with genuine everyday amenities, that's the closing image of Italy's case, I'm sure, and it's a strong one. Prices are as selected at the time, and always check documents and fees before committing. So where does that leave us? 8 properties, 4 from Spain, 4 from Italy. Here's the honest verdict. Spain wins on turnkey readiness. Properties 1, 3, and 5 are all described as renovated and move-in ready, with the coastal Spanish infrastructure, sun, flights, rental market, backing them up. Italy wins on scale and character. The Umbrian stone house, the Tuscan 197 square meter, 2,120 square foot project, the 250 square meter, 2,691 square foot Marche Villa, and the medieval Bagnon townhouse offer a physical size and historical depth that Spain at this price simply doesn't match. But several of them require renovation budget. If you want the most turnkey Spanish option, Property 5, Sedella, newly renovated, Malaga Mountain Village, roof terrace potential, move in now. If you want the most space for the money in Italy, Property 7, Apecchio, 250 square meters with an approved renovation project and a garden in the Marche. If you want the most practical coastal package, Property 3, Los Montesinos, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, AC, 2008 build, Costa Blanca proximity. And if you want the most atmospheric Italian village experience, under $106,000, Property 8, Bagnon, medieval stone, fireplace, amenities at the door. Comment below, Spain or Italy, and which specific property wins for you. Subscribe if you want the next country comparison, because the next one pits Portugal against Greece, and the prices start even lower. See you there.